Hey everybody, welcome back to Stache Club Wrestling. My name is John Moonsalt, and welcome back to Yays and Boos. We have a hot one for you today. Just came off stream, just came off a pretty solid Raw. A lot of it was just kind of like a commercial and hype up for Saturday Night's main event, which isn't a bad thing. It was a pretty solid show. We're going to see what you think about it. I got a bunch of your hot takes that I'm going to give a yay or a boo. Reminder, a yay just means I agree, a boo just means I disagree. It's not deeper than that. And yeah, before we get started, please leave your likes, leave your comments. What are your hot takes? What do you agree with? What do you disagree with? Please make sure you subscribe. Check out the merch and the WWE Fanatics affiliate link we have in the description. Follow me on my own channel, John Moonsalt. I post a bunch of solo stuff there, and I stream on there as well as my Twitch. All right, without further ado, let's get to the first one that says, I love Kairi, but I don't mind Rhea being in the match at all. Parentheses, as long as she doesn't win it. Talking about the Money in the Bank match. Kairi just returned, so I believe they'll have plans of her. Also, thoughts and prayers for Zoe. That injury looked nasty. Yeah, I agree with all this, so I think this is getting a yay. We'll start at the top where I love Kairi. Obviously, in the chat, we had a Kairi Sane prayer circle. I was hoping she would win, but also she is going up against Rhea Ripley. I'm glad we got an entrance. We got the full pirate gimmick and the fucking, what's that? Telescope? Tethoscope is what? Tethoscope? Tethoscope. What is that? What doctors use? And then telescope. Anyway, I didn't really think there was a shot at Kairi winning it. It really just seemed like a foregone conclusion that Rhea is winning. I don't know if Rhea's winning Money in the Bank. I mean, obviously we have a few more competitors, that being a Roxanne added. We had Alexa get added on Friday. So I'm not staking a claim right now. I'm going to have to see what the rest of the field looks like. But I think I'm echoing a lot of people's sentiments when I say that Rhea doesn't necessarily need it. I'm glad she's in the match. I love Rhea. I am not in the camp or not on this Rhea hate train that all of a sudden has spawned on the internet. Everyone's like, oh, Rhea wins all the time. Rhea doesn't need to be involved, whatever. She's one of the best wrestlers and one of the most over wrestlers and one of, well, yeah, the most popular, I guess that means over, wrestlers in the company. Why wouldn't she be in big match contention? Like, sure, you do need to, like, cool down on people. You can't miss someone unless they're gone, and Rhea being away from the title would make her hunting for it again that much better. Like, I fully get where everyone's coming from. I just don't know if right now needs to be the time for it. All that to say, I'll hold my breath. If she wins, maybe we'll come back to this conversation and see what that decision was like, especially if you have so far the likes of a Roxanne and a returning Alexa in it. I think right now either of those women are a more interesting choice than Rhea is. Your second point, Kairi just returning, so I believe they'll have plans for her. I hope so. I mean, it seems like, let's, have a moment of silence for Damage Control. They didn't mention on commentary. It kind of seems like we're done with that. Io's on her own, running it with the world title. Asuka's been out for a while. Kairi's been out for a while, except for her, return just now and kind of doing the pirate gimmick all over again. I mean, she's always kind of done the pirate gimmick, but like, it's kind of a refocus on that, I would say. Obviously, Dakota unfortunately released, and I don't know if they were to do it again without Dakota. Like, Dakota was such like a big part and like the heart of Damage Control, so it makes sense to just RIP it and move on. Unfortunately, as much as I love Damage Control, the look, the feel, it was all great. What did Andy from The Office say? I wish you knew you were in the good old days before you left him or whatever. That's how I feel about Damage Control. But I do think they'll have big things for Kairi. I mean, I would love Kairi to maybe face some of her former Damage Control partners when Asuka comes back, or maybe get on a little hunt for that world title to face Io. And then also, I agree, thoughts and prayers for Zoe Stark. That injury did not look good. Really unfortunate, brutal, really tough to watch for a multitude of reasons. I feel like she hasn't really had a match in a while, so this being like, a massive match back for Zoe Stark and it ending like this, I don't know, it's really, really tough. I do not advise anyone to go watch the video. I open Twitter for like right after, like the top thing was like the video of the replay, and it's tough. But anyway, I agree with the sentiment, and I think everyone's sentiments were best wishes to Zoe Stark. I'm hoping for the best news possible, speedy recovery, hope we see you soon, and just thoughts and prayers out to Zoe Stark. You never like seeing something like that. It's really, really, really unfortunate. And like after that happened, like for the rest of the show, just kind of like a little bit of anxiety in the back of your head, just like, ah, man, that was tough to see. I'll move on to this next one that says, Tyrese Halliburton getting a segment on Raw and Karrion Kross not getting anything, dead emoji. Yeah, Kross's promo really was just him spitting the reality of WWE now. This is a yay. Again, a yay means agree, because I am not yaying about this Tyrese Halliburton promo. I don't know. If you're a basketball fan or an NBA fan, sure, it was exciting for you. Did it get your rocks off? Maybe, sure. Good for you if you're into that. This, however, was dumb. No, I don't know anything about Tyrese Halliburton. I'm sure he's fine. He seems like a genuine fan. Like, that's all great. It's cool that they, predicted the Eastern Conference Finals with the two and, whatever. I don't know. This wasn't it for me. It just felt like a weird, I don't know, it was like an NBA Finals promo is what it was. And then it was, I get you had Cole talking about the Knicks, and then I like that Pat and Cole had a side bet in terms of whoever wins, we're gonna dress basically like each other, whatever. But I don't know. As someone who also doesn't have 2K25, I don't care. Even though I did have 2K25, I wouldn't care for this NBA DLC pack. I don't know. It just seemed like a waste of time, especially if you're ending the show at 2.5 hours and you're gonna squeeze in this segment went long. It was slow. I don't know. I'm not trying to just dunk on it and shit on it, but just from a very, very personal standpoint, this is fully just my opinion as someone who doesn't really care about the NBA, doesn't really know who Tyrese Halliburton is, and also doesn't care about the TLC pack for two. There was just nothing here. There was nothing here. This wasn't a segment for me. So if it was for you and you liked it, fine. If you're all in the NBA finals and this was great, then by all means, cool. And it is just, another tally or whatever you want to say in the wow, this happened, but no carrying. I don't know. I mean, you can't just, I don't know, they're not super related, in actuality. Well, they aren't. Carrying is just you could say this for a lot of other people. Oh, you put Tyrese on, but not Carrion or not this person or that person. So I get choosing Carrion as maybe the most prominent because it is he does have the fans behind him. It's why aren't you using him? What are we doing? He had his fiery promos and he's like you said spoke a lot of truth. But it is, I don't know, it's kind of funny just to relate this directly to Carrion, even though he didn't have anything to do with it. But again, I still agree. I get your point where it would have been more useful to put someone like a Carrion on TV or maybe give him a promo or a backstage segment or something. But it was a waste of time for me overall. So I agree. This is a yay if I didn't give it one already, but moving on. All right, next hot take is I like the Becky and Lyra feud, but I'd rather see someone like a Natalya, Zoe Stark, Ivy Nile, etc. down the road getting a chance at the mid-card title. I think you will. I think, we're in this feud now. I liked Becky's promo. I think what was it, last week? We haven't seen Lyra since Backlash. They've been selling, well, it's probably legit, but talking about the broken nose. First time I was here since Backlash, came back, took Becky out of the match. I like it too. I do agree. So this is a yay. This is overall a yay. I like it too. I do agree that I think they need one more. Let's end this feud. Whether Becky wins it or not, I am looking forward to, some other people who deserve a mid-card title shot get that shine. I think maybe specifically, not to put words in your mouth, but I think Lyra deserves this mid-card spot. I've kind of commented on the fact maybe Becky doesn't need to be in the mid-card spot as much as other people. It's fine that she's there. I've kind of eased up on that stance of these top players, main eventers shouldn't be in the mid-card title, where it does elevate the title. I get it. I mean, John Cena had the U.S. title doing the U.S. Open Challenge later in his career. There's other examples, Bayley was kind of in the mix with that mid-card title. AJ Styles years ago, Shinsuke with the IC. There's so many examples, so I've eased up on that. However, I do think it wouldn't be a bad idea to maybe have Becky lose this feud, put over Lyra, and then you can get more mid-card women that haven't gotten the opportunities that maybe a Becky has to kind of, get in line and get these, mid-card title matches. But you can't have everything at once. You can't have too many multiple feuds at once. So I think we're getting there, a little bit more patience, but I think you're going to get, the next contenders, up. And honestly, props to Natalya. I would say the workhorse of her qualifying match. And I've been saying it. That's no longer Natalya out there. That's Natty Neidhart out there, which I wish they start calling her that. It's a way cooler name, more badass of a name. That Bloodsport appearance really just sold me on this later career Natalya. She looked unreal, really proved her spot of hey, I know there's all these young stars. Remember, I haven't really gotten my, world title moment. I'm hunting for that mid-card. I should be in this mid-card title. I should have the mid-card title. So I'm fully in for Natalya. I'm calling her Natty Neidhart mid-card title win because she more than impressed tonight. All right, we'll move on to the next one. This says, I think the Raw Tag Division right now is stale. It just feels like they are waiting and begging for the Lucha Bros to actually team. Also, I'm really down with the Judgment Day and Theory quote turn. Both these things are dragging. Okay, first of all, I mean, so all this, this is all getting a yay for the most part. The Raw Tag Team Division, it's nowhere near the SmackDown Tag Team Division. I'm not going to waste too much breath on that because it's so obvious. SmackDown Division is killing it. However, selfishly, if and when the Lucha Bros do reunite, I want them on SmackDown. I want them facing the Street Profits, Morgan State Machine Guns, DIY, Pretty Deadly, Fraxium, Los Garzas if they're still together. As much as I do want to see them also face the New Day, or if we can get an Usos match with them. I don't know how much I love on like, as they are the guys to do it, but I don't know how much I want the Raw Tag Team division just like hoping and praying, like Lucha Bros save us, Lucha Bros save us. I would rather Lucha Bros be placed in a division where they can just ball out and not worry about like maybe getting dragged down by like the booking or lack thereof, right? And also Penta is a superstar. I think if anything, the SmackDown side with Rey Fenix, they're really just waiting, or just like WWE in general with Rey Fenix, it seemed like they're just waiting and killing time with him until he can team up with Penta. But the writing for Penta is on fire. Penta's a superstar. So I do want to see Penta kind of live this solo run, and I do want Rey Fenix to kind of get picked up more, you know? To your other points, the Judgment Day turn, I assume you're talking about like Finn and Dom. The Finn and Dom one, I'm not like super mad that it's like, I mean, these are both like slow, but I'm not mad that it's slow. You do have Liv not really there right now, and she's a key factor, I would say the biggest factor in all this. You do kind of need her, so like, you know, slack given on that. I do like, however, I don't know if we're going to talk about it, I forget what I kind of screenshotted, but I do like Finn kind of being like slimy and pulling a Dom, you know, how Dom was trying to recruit people while Liv is away. Finn recruits Roxanne. Roxanne comes in, butters everyone up, gives Dom some nuggets, which I think he prefers tenders, so you got a lot to learn. And also giving Carlito an apple, classic. Raquel not really being there for it, Dom kind of being wishy-washy. So I think that was all very interesting, you know, all around. We're planting some seeds. I'm thinking we're getting, you know, a Roxanne Liv feud eventually, and maybe Roxanne starts getting buddy-buddy with Dominic. I don't know. Then over on the Austin Theory turn, this is, if anything, this is dragged. And this should have happened by now, like Theory and Waller. I've never seen two best friends so obvious that they hate each other. Like, Grayson Waller was getting his ass beat by Sheamus, and the whole time Theory is just like snickering and laughing and like basically in Waller's face. I don't know. They just need to do it right now. I don't know if they're like, I hate to again be that guy that's like, oh, is Waller the fourth or third man in like Seth's and Braun's faction? I don't know. Probably not necessarily, but I do think we need to get this final explosion from Theory. Turn him face. That's what everyone's been predicting. I think he needs it. Grayson's a perfect heel. I think he still has a lot that he can give. But yeah, I mean, if anything's dragging, I think it's that one. But all right, next, we'll move on. Week by week, Jay is beating the, quote, Jay can't wrestle allegations. Had a fun bit of a match with Braun. I agree, and it was kind of a different style of match that we've seen Jay have since winning this World Heavyweight Championship. It was brutal. It was super fast paced. Braun hit that crazy, like over-jumped it, which made it even like crazier looking. His jump like to Jay on the announce table. He like cleared the whole announce table. This was fun. Oh, I loved the super spear counter into like the flying super kick. That looked good. Yeah, he's consistently proving he's meant for this spot. He's well deserved. He's put in the work. You can fully tell he's put in the work. He's passionate about it, being in this prominent world title position. So yeah, I agree. This is getting a yay. Personally, for me, I don't know about anyone else. Personally, for me, it's getting a yay. All right, next one. I kind of talked about this, but I'll still give credit where credit's due. I think Finn thinks he's 2 steps ahead, but in reality, Liv, Dom, and Raquel are the ones that are 2 steps ahead. I don't know if Dom is included in that 2 steps ahead. I think Dom, you know, especially considering he didn't really know how time zones worked 1 or 2 weeks ago, I don't know if Dom is part of the mastermind. He's just kind of like, you know, following Liv, the mastermind, and, you know, doing what she says. But I agree, not to reiterate, but I do think Finn was like, ooh, now it Liv's away, I'm going to try to get the upper hand, bring Roxanne in, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, Liv's going to come back and lay the hammer down. So this is a yay. I'm really curious what they're going to do. Ooh, what if we get Finn and Roxanne versus Liv and Dom? That rocks. That pop rocks. Okay. All right. Okay. But yeah, this is a yay. I fully agree. Next one. Has there been a boo this episode? I don't know. Oh, this might be a boo. Okay, well, let's get to it. Raw on Netflix is almost unbearable to watch with how many ad breaks we are getting. It's almost always 2 per match plus entrances. I know that Netflix has to make some of that money back that they spent on getting the rights, but it is taking me out of a lot of the show. I mean, I agree that, you know, just inherently that ads are annoying. I don't like ads. It is always annoying if you're in the middle of a hot match and like, damn, I'd rather just see like a full 20 minutes of action. I don't want, you know, they're like, I do agree. I don't know if the ad breaks are that much higher compared to USA. I wouldn't be shocked for a little bit more, but honestly, it seems pretty comparable to what we've seen on network television. So it doesn't strike me too crazy. Also on stream, I like the ad breaks. We get to play Wrestling Wordle and like regular NYT games. Like, it's kind of fun for me. Also, God, I wish this was sponsored by a VPN. I'm not going to say a specific one. It's a perfect opportunity to be sponsored by a VPN right now because people who do have a VPN can just use it on Netflix and they can just like watch the matches. However, there's pros and cons to it. You do sometimes get promos that you don't normally see. But like during a match, I've done it before where watching it through a VPN where like you do get to see the match and still watch it, but it is wrestling with wrestlers who know they're on an ad break. So like they do usually like turn down the pace by like, you know, -5. And there's nothing crazy or significant that's going to happen. Like sometimes there is, you can get like the post, you know, commercial replay, like here's what you missed. But like, I don't know. I don't think you're missing much. Well, like inherently, I do fully agree. I would rather the less ads, the better. I even like don't like the ads in the center of the ring. That's how anti-ads I am. So you know what? I was going to give this one a boo just because I like slightly disagree that like, I don't think it's that big of a difference. But like what you're saying is like, I agree with, you know, I'd rather have more quality wrestling than ads. So I'm going to give this one a yay, even though I don't, you know, I feel like it's not that much different from USA. However, USA, the shit ton of ads as well. So, you know what I mean? I'd rather just cut down as a whole, you know? So it's getting a yay because word. Hell yeah. All right, folks, that's going to do it for this week's Raws, Yays, and Boos. Please let me know what you agreed with, what you disagree with. What's your yay? What's your boo? What are some of your hot takes that didn't get mentioned on the show? Please check out my channel. I post a bunch of solo stuff on there as well as stream on there and my Twitch, John Moonsall, everything. In the description, please check out the Patreon, the merch, the Fanatics affiliate link. Check out everything you missed. We put out a great Cruiserweight history quiz the other day. Loved it. Super, super long quiz. Podcast coming out tomorrow. Please keep an eye on that. And yeah, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Bye.